Forecast First, sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, we take a look at the satellite radar picture tonight. We've got a few clouds building in, which is good. That's going to act as almost like a blanket to help keep temperatures a little bit warmer because we've already dipped down to lower 20s earlier, starting to come back up a few degrees, and that's what we're actually forecasting as we head into tomorrow. A light wind out of the south. That south wind is helping to boost those temperatures up a little bit, but it's also aiding in a wind chill that's near 19 degrees. As you get up and about on your Saturday morning, we know you're going to bust out the frosted weather wheats to find that forecast inside, and there it is. 27, 7 a.m. in the morning. We'll see temperatures in the mid-30s, lots of sunshine. Your weekend looks good. Snow to come by early next week. We'll talk about amounts coming up. WCIA 3 News starts.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
We hope that more people step up and report crimes.
Now one organization has a new way of doing it, and it might only be the start. A building burned to the ground last night. Why firefighters say it means they need more help. One business decided to light up the night in this city. Why they thought it would be good for the community.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
We just thought it was an awesome idea to leverage technology.
There's a new way to learn about Champaign County Crime Stoppers and how to share what you know about crimes without the risk of revealing your identity. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. Paul is off tonight. Champaign County Crime Stoppers installed an informational electronic kiosk near the library at Parkland College in Champaign. They're hoping this will encourage more people to share tips to convict criminals. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is with us now. So Jennifer, how does this work?
Jessica, the kiosk has a screen that rotates information on wanted subjects, unsolved crimes, and crime prevention tips. Crime Stoppers' motto has always been, if you see something, say something. And many crimes have been solved because people gave information anonymously. This is a different way you can share how to do that. The electronic screen on the Crime Stoppers kiosk is meant to catch people's attention.
We'd love for this to just bring more awareness to our program and that it is anonymous, because that's one of the uphill battles that we fight all the time, is that you are anonymous, and people don't necessarily truly believe that.
Crime Stoppers allows people to give information about crimes without revealing who they are or connecting them to the tips they share.
We want to catch criminals, and we want to make sure people remain anonymous.
Nothing, including your name or phone number, will ever be traced back to you. This kiosk is here to encourage people about Crime Stoppers' mission and the cash reward incentive given in exchange for helpful information.
Turn them in anonymously. You never have to give your name or testify in court, and then you can have a cash reward at the end of it if you want.
Crime Stoppers is testing out this technology, hoping it will make more people aware of the program. Each machine costs about $4,000. The one at Parkland College was paid for by a grant from the Champaign Rotary.
We hope that more people step up and report crimes that they've seen, and that the police will be able to follow through and convict people that are guilty of these crimes.
Crime Stoppers has applied for another grant to install 4 more of these kiosks throughout Champaign County. Businesses are also able to sponsor them and put them in their buildings. Jessica.
Hopefully it helps. All right, Jennifer, thank you. New for you tonight, a man was taken to the hospital after being shot in the leg this afternoon. It happened in Danville near Hazel and Penn just after 3 o'clock. Police say the 37-year-old man is in stable condition tonight. They're still looking for information. If you know anything, you can call them. Champaign police arrested a man and seized several guns. 20-year-old Jamie Maple Jr. of Champaign was taken into custody for possession of drugs and firearms without a FOID card. The Champaign County Street Crimes Task Force got a warrant to search his house on Country Fair Drive. They found 3 guns, money, and marijuana. A fire department says they need more manpower after flames destroyed a building last night. It happened in Mattoon at 13th and Piatt Avenue at Superior Service Company. No one was hurt, but fire officials think with more firefighters, they would have been able to save more of the business and the equipment inside. 20 years ago, Mattoon Fire had a minimum of 10 people on duty and 43 total. Now they have a minimum of 8 on duty and only a total of 23 firefighters, which they say is fewer than what their contract calls for.
The more our manpower gets drawn down, the more unsafe it is for the community members and for firefighters.
Along with the building, 90% of the company's equipment was destroyed. They're looking for a temporary space. They hope to have it in place by next week. Our Target 3 investigative team has new information on a former superintendent being investigated by the FBI. We've learned Dan Brew is accused of stealing from another district. We told you the former Meridian superintendent is under investigation for embezzlement. Investigators say he paid himself $250,000 with invoices from a fake company he created. They also say he paid the fake company more than $75,000 while he was the superintendent in Bement. For more on what he's accused of, you can go to WCIA.com. A staff member at the Illinois School for the Deaf in Jacksonville is on leave while the school investigates reports of sexual harassment. The superintendent says a staff member is accused of engaging in inappropriate communication and behavior toward other staff members. The school is reviewing the employee's interactions with staff and students. The person is on off-campus paid administrative leave in the meantime. Teachers in the Springfield School District reached a tentative contract agreement. The superintendent wouldn't give specifics, but says the district increased some of the financial offers in it. Their last proposal was rejected just a few days ago. The union wants more money for teachers as well as more services for mental health.
We weren't concerned with that rhetoric or that conversation whatsoever, and I don't think anything that they asked for was unreasonable, but then there's also the financial costs that go along with it, and we can't do everything in one contract, and so this may be some conversations that we have over time and thinking how we best might meet the needs of our students.
The district won't release any details about the contract until the union presents it to its members. If they don't accept it, the school board will take another look at it on the 18th. The Housing Authority of Champaign County approved a program to help college students. Students in public housing who get accepted to U of I will be eligible for student vouchers. The one requirement is that they must qualify for Illinois Connection, which covers tuition. If they do, the Housing Authority will pay their living costs in residence halls. CEO David Northern says they want to help open doors.
We want to help pay the housing, right? And we talked to a university and they can separate the room and board, and so the young people can probably get Pell Grants or something like that to pay for their food expenses. But we just want to make sure that when they graduate and have that great access to higher education, that they're debt-free.
He says some have been concerned about using Housing Authority money this way, but he says the voucher program won't take money away from any other program. HUD still needs to approve the plan. People against a flavored e-cig ban hope a new CDC study delays state lawmakers from voting on it. The study shows vitamin E oil and THC may be behind vaping-related deaths. Many in the vaping community have been warning people about the dangers of adding those substances to their cartridges. State lawmakers only have a week left in veto session to vote on the ban. Advocates plan to rally next week ahead of lawmakers going over the bill again. Hemp may be legal in Illinois, but some area hemp farmers say the first year has come with challenges. Many of those are related to the fact that marijuana is still illegal at the federal level, and also because of how new hemp farming is. It's only allowed in Illinois because of the farm bill that passed last year. Shelley Wilkin decided to give it a try this year, and she just harvested her first hemp plants at the end of October. She says banks and social media are still not hemp friendly.
I can't even go on Amazon. I can't go on Facebook. Shut me down for a week because I had so many inquiries about my CBD products, which is legal. There's only 0.3% of THC in it.
A bill headed to the state Senate could make it easier for hemp farmers to deal with banks. The Safe Banking Act just passed the House. One of its aims is to make banks more hemp friendly. New for you tonight, a business in downtown Urbana is taking over a space next door to expand. Bohemia is a clothing and jewelry store at the corner of Main and Race. It's been open for 6 years. They just started leasing the space next door and are turning it into a showroom. The expansion will feature handmade home furniture ranging from tables to bed frames and more.
They're going to find really amazing, unique items. Custom furniture is really nice. These will be pieces that you can hand down from generation to generation.
The grand opening is next Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m. It's Illinois basketball's first road test tonight, and it's only the start to a huge weekend for them. Plus, last weekend, machines were throwing pumpkins through the air, while some say it didn't bring as big of a crowd as expected. And hearing sirens this morning was a good thing, why some sounded for the second time this week.